Prepping and packaging Amazon shipments can be rather confusing, especially if it's your first time. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to properly package your products, including all the different ways that you can package them, how to properly label your products, as well as how to package and label your shipping cartons. I'll go over what the Amazon packaging and labeling requirements are, including which barcodes you need to put on your products. So to get started, let's take a look at Amazon's packaging and prep guidelines. These are the requirements that your product's packaging and shipping cartons need to follow. I'll post a link to this page in the description below so you can refer to it because, like you can see here, it says, follow these general requirements when shipping units to fulfillment centers. Certain products have other specific requirements. Amazon may refuse, return, or repackage any product delivered to a fulfillment center with inadequate or non-compliant packaging at your expense. Okay, so let's talk about the different ways you can package your product. There's basically three main types of packaging that you're going to encounter: a box, a polybag, or a blister pack. The type of packaging you choose should suit the product based on how much overall protection it needs to prevent any damage from handling and shipping, keeping the contents together as well as the overall unboxing experience. For example, you can use a plain generic cardboard box like you see here, or for not much more cost, you can go with a custom designed box. For certain products, you can use a poly bag instead. These are clear bags you're probably already familiar with. Again, you have the option of going with a plain generic poly bag, or you can add value by going with a designer bag, or even bags with insert cards in them like you see here. The third type of product packaging you'll most likely encounter is blister packs. Some products are better suited for this type of packaging so that you can show off the contents, like a toothbrush or a pack of marker pens like you see here. Usually, a manufacturer will already have their preferred packaging that they use for the product, but that doesn't always mean that you have to use it. If you want to change how a product is packaged, ask them to see what options they have. In some cases, they may not be able to change the packaging. In those circumstances, you'll have to have your product packaged elsewhere with a supplier that has the packaging option that you want. And do you know what else you want? Smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. It lets the YouTube algorithm know you found value in this video and to show it to more people just like you, and I would really appreciate it. So thank you. And my name is Crescent. If you want to learn more about how to sell on Amazon and connect with me, as well as surround yourself with other like-minded sellers, join my Amazon Facebook group. It's one of the largest with over 30,000 members. You can find a link down in the description below. Now, if we refer back to the packaging guidelines, regardless of which type of packaging you go with, everything that is included in your product must be contained within the package. As you can see here under loose products, it says, each unit, including multiple volume book sets, must be contained within a single, secure package. For example, if you're selling a product that has multiple pieces or parts, or if it's multiple items in a bundle, everything needs to be contained inside one single package. Like if you're selling a cell phone case bundled with a charging cable, the case and the cable need to be inside one single package. Now, designing and choosing your packaging is important because the overall size and weight of your product packaging will dictate how much your Amazon fulfillment fee is. As you can see here, to fall under the small standard size tier, your product needs to be less than 16 ounces and must be smaller than 15 by 12 by 0.75 inches. The fees go up significantly as you move up in tier, so don't make your product packaging any larger than it needs to be. Now, specifically, if you're using boxes, you want to make sure that it meets these guidelines here. Take particular attention to what it says here. Boxes must be 6-sided, must have openings or a lid that will not easily open on its own. If the box can easily open on its own, use tape, glue, or staples to keep it closed. Must not collapse when medium pressure is applied to any of the sides. And if the boxed units has perforated sides or openings, the product must pass a 3-foot drop test, consisting of 1 drop on each side and 1 drop on a corner. If the product does not pass the drop test, it must be placed in a poly bag with a suffocation warning. Now, when it comes to poly bags, you can see that they need to meet these requirements. The most important is this one here. Poly bags with a 5-inch opening or larger must have a suffocation warning either printed on the bag or attached as a label. Failure to apply a suffocation warning may lead to the items being rebagged. You can actually buy polybags with the warning already printed on them, like you can see here. In fact, you can buy them on Amazon or from a supplier, or you can place them on the bag using a sticker. Now, polybags also need to adhere to these guidelines here. However, I know Amazon doesn't actually check that the thickness is at least 1.5 mil, as you can see here. However, polybags must be transparent. They have to have the UPC or Amazon barcode that is scannable through the bag or on the outside of the bag. They must be completely sealed, and polybags must not protrude more than 3 inches past the dimensions of the product. Now, if you want to learn how you can make your own warning labels or print them along with your barcode, I do have a video that goes over how to do this, and I'll post a link to that video in the description below. And if you're using bubble wrap, or if you're selling perishable products, make sure you read up on this section. They need to have an expiration date on them. Or if you want to read up on the other stipulations, I'll leave a link to this page in the description below. Now, speaking of labels, it's crucial that you have them done correctly. Otherwise, you can have your shipment denied, delayed, or have to pay fines. Firstly, if you're importing your products from outside of the US, by law, US Customs requires that the country of origin be on every single unit. So for example, if your product is coming from China, every unit needs to have Made in China on it. You also need to have Made in China on the master carton as well, like you can see here. A master carton is the shipping carton your products are being shipped in from China. Additionally, every one of your units needs to also have a barcode on it. If you're doing private label, I suggest always putting the FN or FN on every unit. This barcode is also called the Amazon barcode. I don't suggest using the UPC barcode, also called the manufacturer barcode. By using the FN it prevents the possibility of your inventory being commingled with other sellers' inventory. You can download or print the FN from the Print Item Labels option in Seller Central, or when you create a shipping plan, it'll have an option for you to print them there. And if you're not applying the barcode label yourself, you can save the FN as a PDF and email it to your supplier so that they can place it on your product for you. Now, one important thing to note, the barcode label must be placed on the outermost packaging so that it can be easily scanned. It can't be on the inside, covered, or hidden. And to avoid any confusion, there can only be one barcode visible on the product. If there are other barcodes on the packaging for some reason, you'll need to cover the other barcodes up. Either Sharpie over them or cover it with your FN barcode sticker. And a pro tip, if you're creating custom packaging for your product, you can have the country of origin and the FN barcode incorporated directly into the package design so that it can just be directly printed onto the box rather than having to use a sticker. This will not only make your overall design look cleaner, but it also saves some money by not having to print additional labels and pay for sticker labels. Now, if for whatever reason your supplier can't do the labeling for you, or you don't want them to, you can actually have Amazon put the barcode labels on for you. However, Amazon will charge you a fee of 55 cents per unit. And keep in mind, if you incorrectly label your products, Amazon will charge you an unplanned service fee to fix them. And if you continue to send in inventory incorrectly, you can lose your FBA selling privileges completely. All right, now let's move on to the shipping cartons. These are the boxes that you or your supplier is going to package and ship your products to Amazon in. These are also called master cartons. Now, there's 2 ways that you can package your master cartons, either case packed or individually packed. Case packed means your shipment boxes consist of cases that contain identical items with matching SKUs in the same condition. They also must meet these criteria. All products in a box must have matching SKU and condition. All boxes with the same product must contain equal quantities of that product in each box. For example, a case pack of 24 units must always contain 24 units. And take note here, the case pack limit is 150 units per case. So for example, if you're shipping in 600 units of can openers and they're boxed up in 4 cartons with 150 units in each carton, the maximum, then this would be case packed. Each case has the exact same product inside. They're all in the same condition and in the same quantity. Now, individually packed means your shipment boxes consist of individual items with different SKUs or in different conditions. Individual products can contain different quantities of the same SKU in each case and can contain more than 150 units in any case. For example, let's say you're shipping in 400 stainless steel can openers and 100 plastic can openers. You can throw them all into one shipping carton, or have multiple cartons with 2 SKUs mixed up inside the cartons with no specific organization. Now, a pro tip here is, even if your products are case packed, always choose individually packed when you're creating your shipping plan to avoid some potential problems when creating your shipment. I go into detail on what these problems are in a separate video on how to create a shipping plan, and I'll leave a link to this video in the description below if you want to learn more about that. Now, for most people just starting out, you're not shipping a ton of inventory that's on pallets or taking up a truckload or an entire container. So you're going to be shipping your products in as SPD, or small parcel delivery. In this case, the shipping cartons need to meet these SPD requirements. They must have an FBA shipment ID label and a carrier label. You'll get these from your shipping plan and shipping carrier or freight forwarder. They must not weigh more than 50 pounds and cannot exceed 25 inches on any side. And again, take note, it says here, important, box weight and dimension policies are strictly enforced. Sending overweight or oversized boxes to the fulfillment center may lead to blocking of future shipments. Again, if you want to read more about this yourself, I'll leave a link to this page in the description. Also, if we take a look at this section here, it says SPD shipments using an Amazon partnered carrier, the maximum units per box is 200 units and 500 units per carton for non-partnered carrier shipments. Okay, so what's a partnered carrier shipment? Well, because Amazon does so much volume, they offer deep discounts on domestic shipments within the US versus arranging the shipment yourself through a shipping carrier such as UPS, FedEx, or DHL. Basically, if you're shipping within the US to Amazon's fulfillment centers, then definitely take advantage of the partnered carrier program. The savings are sometimes more than half the price. You can choose this option when you create your shipping plan. All right, so moving on to the shipping labels. There's 2 labels that need to go on your shipping cartons, and what's confusing is that they're both called shipping labels, so pay close attention here. For shipments going to Amazon, Amazon requires you to create a shipping plan. The shipping plan lets them know what you're shipping in, and the shipping plan will tell you which fulfillment centers you need to ship your products to. When you complete the shipping plan, you'll be giving shipping labels that look like this that you'll need to print out and affix to your shipping cartons. 1 label for each carton. You can also download these shipping labels and email them to your supplier or freight forwarder if they're the ones handling a shipment so that they can put them on your shipping cartons for you. Be aware though, if you're shipping multiple cartons of different products or different quantities, make sure the correct label goes on the corresponding carton so that they go to the right fulfillment center, as Amazon may not have you ship everything to the same warehouse. Now, these Amazon shipping labels are simply to identify the shipping cartons when they arrive at Amazon so that they know what it is and who it belongs to. So these Amazon shipping labels will not actually let you ship your products with a shipping carrier like UPS or FedEx. These labels have nothing to do with the physical shipping of your products. In order to physically ship your products, you or your supplier or freight forwarder need to arrange the shipment with an actual shipping carrier like UPS, FedEx, or DHL. The carrier will then provide you with their own shipping labels that look like this. These labels also need to go on each one of your shipping cartons, 1 label for each carton. But keep in mind, unless you're shipping the products to Amazon yourself, you most likely won't be dealing with any of this. Your supplier or freight forwarder that's arranging the shipment will get these labels and put them on the cartons for you. And lastly, another source of confusion for a lot of people is how your product will be packaged and shipped to your customers. Now, if you're doing FBA, which stands for Fulfillment by Amazon, this is where Amazon handles all of the packaging and labeling for you. When someone buys one of your products, Amazon will pick your products off the shelf, package it in a shipping box or padded envelope, and label it for shipping. This is all included as part of the Amazon FBA fees that you're paying each time you make a sale. So these packages are the Amazon labeled boxes and padded envelopes that everyone easily recognizes. You don't need to worry about or handle any part of this final step. Amazon takes care of it all for you. However, one thing to note, if your product is fragile, you'll want to make sure that your product packaging is sufficient to protect it from damage during handling and shipping. Never rely on the Amazon packaging. They may not even put any extra padding material inside. The responsibility falls on you if the item gets damaged during shipping. You'll get bad reviews otherwise. And one last thing I want to point out here, sometimes Amazon will ship your product in a padded envelope rather than a box. This is so that they can cut down on their costs. In those cases, if your product or product packaging is fragile and can be easily damaged or crushed because it's not in a shipping box, you can actually contact Amazon and request to have your product always be shipped in a box. Unfortunately, you can't just contact them to make the request. You'll need to prove to them that your product is being damaged and that it's not your fault with your product's packaging method. And the damage is due to the fact that Amazon is shipping it in a padded envelope. What you want to do is collect any bad reviews or returns you received where the buyer left a message indicating that your product was delivered damaged. You'll need more than 1 or 2 of these though. Then submit them to Amazon as evidence along with your request in order to get them to approve the change. Alright, if you want to learn more about selling on Amazon and connect with me, join my Amazon Facebook group. Over 30,000 other people already have. There's a link right over here.